Hey everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play Lords of Xulima. Well, we'll see if we are going to play today, or if it's just going to be more UI examination, which is what I'm going to start with. And there might be quite a bit left. We'll see. Well, mostly I want to take a look at everyone's skills. That's really the big thing. Also, I got good and bad news. I guess the good news is that you might have noticed that I managed to rearrange the party in the way that I wanted to be arranged. The bad news is that I did indeed have to just start completely over, which is, you know, it didn't take very long at all, since character creation doesn't have that many options, and I just built all the characters exactly the same way again, except created them in the order that I want them to be, because apparently that cannot be changed after the fact. And it's only a static, but it's also going to mess with me a little bit if they're not in the order that I'm used to, if they're in a different order in combat. That's assuming that I'm going to keep this order forever, but I don't see why I would change anything about it. I mean, I don't plan to fundamentally change anyone's roles in combat, so these roles should be pretty much, hopefully, set in stone. I don't know if there are enemy attacks that will scramble us around. Some wizardry games definitely do that, so we'll see how much inspiration this game takes from those in that regard. Also, yeah, I have not actually taken a single step yet, so we're completely fresh here, and time does indeed not pass while you're not moving. We start at first day, 10 AM, I suppose, with exactly one full day of food, 20 gold pieces or something. You got 5 torches. Click here to light or extinguish a torch. You have 5 torches. I'm assuming, well, I don't want to test it right now. I guess we'll have some sort of opportunity to test it when we actually need one soon enough. But I wonder if, simply lighting one just uses it up, or if each individual torch has its set duration. I would guess probably the latter, because that seems to be a thing that this game does. And yeah. Also, last time, even though I only took a few steps around the landing area here, we spent like 50 minutes, 49 minutes. So, time passes pretty quickly as you move, so yeah, keep that in mind. And of course, as you do move and the time advances, your food stores dwindle, which, until I have found a source of food, hopefully an infinite one, I'm a little bit worried about, my tendency to just wander around and look at everything very carefully. But we'll see how that works out. We also have a rest button here. While resting, the party will recover hit and power points. Makes sense. It is safe to rest here. Thanks for telling me. But I'm also expecting that to make time pass and food to be consumed. That would make sense. Right. Also, the map. Can you double-click or you can just click on the map actually? Yeah. Huh. Right. Or right-click on it, or you can hit M. Again, nice redundant options for, operating the UI. It does absolutely tell you the area you're currently in. I guess I didn't really know what to look for. Veligarn is where we are, but I had pretty much figured that out from the world map, because it's the only place that looks like where we currently are. Palm trees, sandy beaches. I'm assuming that we're in this lower bay here at the Tranquil Coast, and not where the goblins are. And that, just wandering along the only path that there is, that we're going to come across the city of Veligarn, perhaps. And I also took a look at the map in general. Maybe we'll go over it a little bit. I'm kind of terrified of this gigantic bee. We should probably give that a wide berth when we get there. I don't know how we're going to deal with an insect that big. Like, it's almost as big as the city here. It's kind of crazy. But maybe this even bigger bird is going to have arrived there if it continues on its course by the time we get there, and maybe it'll eat the bee. So we'll see if that even is a problem. And then there are, of course, equally large demons, but that's normal. And I'm not sure if this is supposed to be the same kind of demon. It kind of almost looks like it, but maybe it's supposed to be a dragon. And then there's this gigantic ant-type creature and a hill giant thing. Well, hill giant, mountain giant, I guess more like. Yeah. Sandworm. No sea monsters, interestingly, but I guess we're maybe not going to be doing a lot of sea travel, although there is this series of islands here that we're going to reach in some way, I'm assuming. Anyway, maybe to quickly recap the story as well, which I wasn't able to really follow, or I was able to follow, but, you know, by the time the scrolling intro text, the narrated intro text had finished, I had already forgotten about some of the finer details. But, I mean, the story is pretty basic, or rather, it's not super complicated to the basic setup, that is. We'll see how complicated or how interesting and complex the story is going to get as the game progresses. But basically, our party is from a continent far to the west, 2 weeks by ship to the west, where war is brewing and things are getting more desperate and the gods aren't answering people's prayers. Until one day, our party leader, Gaulen, a navigator and explorer, not captain, I guess, although I suppose he probably was the captain of the ship for the journey, since he was the navigator. Anyway, he was visited in a dream by the god of dreams, his god of choice. I don't know if he was worshipping Golod before that, or if he became a believer after that event. But yeah, he was contacted by the god of dreams and creation, the god who created the world, apparently, who told him that he is the chosen one, and he has to gather a party of adventurers and sail eastward to the home of the gods, or where the gods, the 9 lords of Xulima, used to live, but they're currently not here. They're off fighting amongst each other, or fighting something else, somewhere in the universe, somewhere, not in this plane. That's why they're not answering, I suppose, why they can't aid their mortal worshippers. And instead, their temples have been corrupted or defiled, and new lords have moved in here, led by damn it, the name of the big bad, the guy that was shown in that intro sequence that only plays when you boot up the game. I'm assuming the guy with the helmet, you know, the really big, imposing figure. He really should. Is it just the Lord of Chaos? I want to say it's the Lord of Chaos. We're gonna hear that name, or learn his name, soon enough, or hear that many times over the course of the game, I'm sure. So, apparently that creature, that entity, yeah, and his minions are trying to take the place of the gods here, and that's not a good thing, apparently. And so we're supposed to deal with that. Us mere mortals. But, yeah, I'm sure we're gonna reach near godly status by the end of the game. Right. What else do we have here? Herbal recipes, right. So that's a thing, apparently. Okay. So we got 15 different types of herbs, it looks like. Cereal plant. Increases food reserves up to a full day. Up to. Oh, can you not store more than 1 day's worth of food? I suppose that's okay, though. 40 units to make 1 salve. Okay, I'm assuming that's not the only way to restore food. Up to a full day. So you basically want to use this only when you're basically out of food? Increase the agility attribute by 1 point. Oh, like permanently? It doesn't mention temporariness. Constitution by 1 point. Gives a skill point to the character to spend. I mean, that's definitely a permanent thing, and also takes 10 of this Ramaria mushroom. Galerina, Lactaria. Maximum power points increased by 1. Paladin's gonna be munching on these, I guess. Bolitas. Amanita, you don't want to eat these. Maximum hit points increased by 1. Yeah, I don't know about that. Don't try that IRL. Milesina increases the energy attribute by 1 point. Okay. 1 point of cold resistance, also for 10. Really? A single point of resistance is basically treated equivalently to an attribute. Huh. Okay. Maybe each point of resistance makes a meaningful difference then. Mental resistance, fire resistance, electric, divine resistance, organic resistance, speed attribute, and strength. Yeah, I was gonna say, we didn't have that yet. Alright. Target character, and you... Okay, so it's applied immediately, I guess. Yeah. You just use up the stated number of herbs, and it's going to be applied to that character. Alright, okay. So it's not like you make potions and you end up with an inventory full of potions that you never use. Okay. Seems like a system I can live with. Journal. Gowland's journal. Main story. Active missions. Cleared missions. Notes for the current map. No stored notes for this map. Oh, can I make those notes, actually? New note. Okay. Wait, huh? New note? Oh, okay, then I place it... I don't know. Huh? And then I click on it, and it says landing site. Okay. Right. Fair enough. J for journal. Notes for current map. Landing site. I mean, okay, we know... That just tells us that there is a note on the map somewhere saying landing site, which I guess, okay, gives us a bit of an index of points of interest that I bothered to mark, to make a note for. I don't know how diligent I'm going to be about that, but I like the option. Notes for other maps. And then you can pick that map. Alright, bestiary. We have not encountered any monsters yet. Party stats... Party status. Wait, party stats. Combat? Question mark? Times defeated... 0. For now. Huh. I mean, you cannot click on them here, so I don't know. There's not room for a lot of stats, so... I guess we'll see what kind of information starts to appear there after we've actually done anything. Score and achievements. Okay, not a lot so far. We'll also see if this list gets longer. Help about game concepts. Rest and curing. Travel through areas and regions. Interesting. Okay, I'm also assuming that this is going to get filled in with more stuff as we actually see those tutorials. Although we have not seen a tutorial about rest and curing. Hit points and power points. Gradually regained when you rest. To recuperate 100% of these points you need to rest for 8 hours. Okay, so basically a full night's rest. Remember that you need sufficient food reserves to be able to rest. Minor wounds are automatically healed when you rest for at least 8 hours. Fatal wounds require a full day of uninterrupted rest to heal, so they're not actually fatal. It's best to look for a safe place to camp, or even better get a room at an inn in a village. You can also be cured with spells, potions, or at a temple. Okay. Sickness and curses cannot be cured by rest. You will need to use spells, potions, or go to a temple for a cure. My god. Right, okay. And it's good to know that temples exist where you can just get cured for a fee, I suppose. Traveling outside, when you walk through different terrains, plains, forests, snow, you consume food at different rates according to the difficulty of the terrain. Right. Currently on sand, we're at 60% difficulty, increased difficulty, or... it said that somewhere. The Explorer class can develop the knowledge of terrain skill to lower the rate that food is consumed when traveling. I really like that. Okay, so there are some skills that only certain classes can learn. But things like that, so when the game said that the Bard was particularly good at appraising items and also at acquiring gold, even though he didn't start with any skills that seemed to affect those things, they would have been able to learn those skills eventually. But that might not necessarily mean that no other class has access to them. But there might be some that are actually class specific. Okay, anyway, dangerous areas and encounters. When traveling in dangerous areas, you may be ambushed by enemies without notice. Okay, so random encounters. The number of enemies in an area is finite? Oh, really? And once you eliminate them all, you will be able to explore the area without threat of attack. Interesting. Where have I seen something like that? I definitely have seen a similar, or that concept of actually clearing out an area to the point where you wouldn't get any random encounters anymore in some RPG before. Some JRPG, I want to say. But I've played so many. I don't know. Oh, it's bothering me a little bit. Wait, what was it? I don't know, can't think of it now. If you can think of it, comment below. Maybe I'll remember it by next episode if I don't just forget about it. Anyway, it's a concept that you don't see a lot anyway. I guess a finite amount of encounters though. Does it also mean that there's just a fixed amount of experience and gold to be gained in the entire game? That's a kind of a scary thought. No grinding for extra levels if you struggle. No grinding for extra gold. Anyway, I mean, obviously clearing out an area of enemies. And by the way, no, I'm not thinking of Pool of Radiance. When I did play that, I didn't complete it, but I did play it, and I've seen several playthroughs of it. You can clear at least some areas of monsters there, but I wasn't thinking that far back. Plus, it's not a JRPG, so... Anyway, but that's a game that does something similar, at least in some areas. Right, yeah, anyway, getting rid of random encounters is nice, of course. You will receive a bonus if you do manage to eliminate all the enemies, so I like that. Including the hidden groups that can ambush you and those you can see on the map. Okay. So some enemies you will see on the map, some will just attack you around. Okay. Okay. Interesting stuff. Main story? The Divine Temples, right. Introduction. Ah. Yes. Okay, so I could have reminded myself like this, because this, I believe, is the exact same text that scrolled by as this first chapter started, I suppose. Okay. Like, Safety of Brina, where we started, where we're from, or... Wait. The Guardian of Souls, not the Lord of Chaos at all. I guess that was the name of the big... That's the name of the big bad. Well... the gods who once lived on the lost continent of Xulima, not apparently lost because it's right here, were engaged in battle with the Guardian of Souls. As their power waned, the power of their enemies waxed. Gilad commanded me to sail to Xulima, and once there, liberate the sacred temples of the Divine. Okay. But yeah, here it says, little hope remained in the world as long as our Lord Protectors, I guess those are the Lords of Xulima, continued their battles beyond the distant stars. Without them, nothing could stop the ruin of Rodinia. Which is, I guess, the name of the world. Or the continent we're... No, I think that's the continent that we're from, to the west. So is the problem that the Lord Protectors are battling beyond the stars, far from here? Or that they're losing the fight against the Guardian of Souls and their power is waning? Or are they battling the Guardian of Souls beyond the stars and we're not actually going to be engaging with that Guardian of Souls, but just his underlings that are here on this planet? Well, we'll see, I guess. Maybe it's going to all become clear. Active missions? No active missions. Okay. Right. Almost 20 minutes in, and we're ready to take a look at skills. Right. So I did notice these tabs last time, but good thing probably that I did not actually click on any of them, because, yeah, here we have... Okay. Oh, these are just skills, but separated by categories. Okay. It was not as complex as I thought, or I wasn't sure what to look at, or what I was looking at here. I thought these were magic, but yeah, okay. I thought this was gonna be all the skills, and then... But no, I guess we know that... We already knew that spells are also treated as skills, I guess. They were listed with the skills anyway. In character creation. So we got weapon mastery. Right, okay, categories. That makes sense. Axes. I mean, that's pretty straightforward. Yeah, it's really interesting that they chose to make the main character start with an axe instead of the usual sword, you know? But again, I'm glad for it. Okay, attack value +5. Right. And then we got armor training. Heavier armor increasing maximum weight capacity. Is this maximum weight capacity? Yes. Heavy armors or shields may penalize Penalty, penalize. The character's speed and initiative, initiative in combat. A character's maximum weight capacity can be increased by strength and the armor skill. Okay, so those both affect this, and you can actually, it does break it down for you how all the various contributing factors contribute to these values and, you know, to these numbers. It's really nicely done, actually. Okay, so our armor can wear a total of 14. Right now, we're naked, so... Helmets, hats, and crowns. Heck yeah. Right, okay. Pretty straightforward. Perception, nice. Okay, so you start off with that. Body and mind. Ability to detect traps, secret doors, or treasure concealed in the environment. This skill is attempted automatically each time the party moves. Nice. Don't have to activate that manually. And she also starts with that. That's fine, but I'm obviously only going to train one of them in it. And we'll see how acquisition of new skills is going to work. I'm going to have her focus on lockpicking then, I suppose. Maybe trap disarming, if that's a thing that you have to do separately. But yeah, it definitely seems like... I mean, I'm assuming that multiple people with perception skill would affect... like that the effect would stack. Although it doesn't specify. But yeah, anyway, okay. So you have these. Knowledge. Wait, this is combat, but there's also body and mind underneath the combat category. Which, this is clearly not combat related, so... Why not put that with knowledge, actually? I mean, it's not exactly knowledge, but, you know, it's... Or not, why not make it combat, non-combat? I don't know. Knowledge of herbs. It allows it to obtain 1 to 1.17 doses for every herb collected. Oh, okay, interesting. So we're gonna have fractions of herb doses. Huh. Why is there a wolf hiding among the leaves? Because that's just the nature nature icon, not specific to the skill, I see. Okay, the explorer applies his mastery over natural concealment to disguise the entire group. Allows the party to avoid encounters with wandering enemies. Why would we do that? If you can clear out the area. Well, I mean, I suppose I can see scenarios where we would not want to fight. Powerful enemies cost more to avoid, but increasing the skill's level will reduce how much it costs. How is this gonna work then? If it costs something, it has to be actively applied, right? But I guess powerful enemies cost more to avoid means that in an area with more powerful enemies, this is more expensive. Probably. And he does not have any magic, which is fair. We have other people to do any magic casting. Okay, you have your maces and hammers. You also start with pole weapon skill, interestingly. Okay, yeah, but I chose maces and hammers as for a starting weapon. I guess that choice really only affects what weapon you start with then, and not the skills you have. Right, armors. No knowledge skills. But we do have Aura of Healing. Ah yes, that also shows up here. Actually, character-specific options show up at the top of the screen there when you select them. But the only one who can do anything who can cast anything specific out of combat is her right now, which makes sense. Restores a portion of all allies' hit points. Target nearby allies. I don't know what nearby allies means. I mean, I see no option to separate the party, so shouldn't that always affect all allies automatically? I guess we'll see. Or maybe in combat it means that only adjacent characters get healed or something? Anyway, costs 4. She starts with only 10 PP, so we definitely have to invest in her energy attribute here. I always want to hover over the name of the attribute, but you go over the number for the tooltip. Right. Between 1 and 10 you get 1 point each. And then above 10 you get 2 each. So yeah, we definitely want to get that, to pump that up a little bit. Or a lot, actually. She also starts with a surprisingly low strength for a, you know, paladin. But, well, all things we can fix, I'm sure. Restore 3 to 5 HP, which is not a huge amount, but Yeah, it'll get better. Things will get better. And that's all the spells she has. Let's see here. He obviously starts with... Oh yeah, he starts with 2 in the combat categories. It's nice. Not sure how I'm gonna handle his armor. Give us a... yeah. Description for the class again. The most battle-hardened of all warriors, wielding their instinct like a weapon. Physical strength and stamina are unmatched. Not that stamina is actually a thing. They rely on brute force rather than technique to overcome their force. Even a lightly armored barbarian can be fairly difficult. But is there anything stopping us from being heavily armored? I don't see anything. Unless there is some sort of skill that we don't have yet that specifically increases damage dealt, melee damage, in proportion to how light your armor load is or something. Because, I mean, he's gonna have a lot of strength, which automatically means that even if I don't invest in armor skill, he's gonna be able to carry, to wear quite relatively heavy equipment. And, you know, if I want him to survive, I don't see why, other than for flavor or role-playing reasons, I would not have him wear the heaviest armor he can wear. Huh. Barbarian's Unbridled Fury allows him to score critical hits more often. Nice, I like that. Wouldn't mind everyone else to also be a little bit more angry then, if that's an option. No skills, no spells, obviously. He also has literally zero energy, and thus 0 PP. Gotcha. Yeah. Armor's perception and weapon categories, of course. Okay, she does start with lockpicking and trap disarming. Both of those things. They're just in the knowledge category, where really perception should be, but you know, it's fine. A minor nitpick. So I have the nitpicking skill. Open locks which are sometimes found on doors and chests. As this skill increases, the process of picking a lock will become less complicated. Oh, lockpicking minigame, huh? And mistakes will be less likely to break your lockpicks, which are required to use the skill, and we don't start with any. That's kind of mean. Ability to disarm most traps. As this skill increases, traps will become less complicated to disengage. Okay, also minigame for trap disarming. And thus lots of potential for messing up and blowing the party up to pieces, or things like that. Oh, right. I mean, I guess for a spellcaster, the weapon, or the combat category is not really gonna matter much. I don't know how much sense it makes to invest in their pole weapon skill. I mean, eventually maybe they'll have decent pole weapons, decent staffs that still can be used as a, you know, to at least deal some additional damage, even when they're out of PP or I want to conserve PP, which is, it always feels weird to say PP, but PowerPoints is more cumbersome, so I guess I'm gonna just use the shorthand. Whatever, that's fine. Oh, and okay, so she's in the energy realm, and she starts with Sparks, basic fire spell. Fiery sparks emerge from caster's palm, scorching one target. Right, okay, one enemy on the front row. Enemies also have rows, I see. Okay, right, but I guess the same rules apply to enemies, where they can't be in the back row unless they have some other unit in front of them in the front row, right? So as soon as you kill everything in the front row, anyone hiding in the back row is going to be forced to the front and thus become attackable. But I suppose that does mean that there's definitely some use for a pole weapon user in the front row among my fighters. I guess technically I could maybe make my paladin use pole weapons if I really wanted to. To be able to, you know, stab that annoying mage in the back row who's casting spells at us. Huh. Okay, anyway, we're also gonna have, we have our own archer, which, I mean, just confirming that, but it wouldn't make sense if these didn't reach any enemy, right? Does it say? Any enemy, including those located at the back row. Okay, specifically says that. Plus, I'm sure that there must be spells that can reach any enemy, and even all enemies. at once. But yeah. PP cost 4. Inflicts 8 to 12 points of fire damage. Not bad. But you can only cast that 4 times before running out. And finally, we have our Divine Summoner, who I'm quite curious about. Right, yeah. And these are in the Divine Realm, summoning Herald of Nalaed, the goddess of the sea, I believe. Summon Nimona, the Herald of Nalaed, to join the fight. Target, special target, okay. 40 seconds duration. I guess a combat round must have a certain duration then. PP cost 6. HP 8. Not a huge amount. But okay. Obviously, I'm expecting that once these heralds are defeated, that's only temporary, and you can just summon them again. BD. PP22. BD. What is BD? Basic damage 18, evasion 12, speed 10, initiative 12. Oh, light heal. There you go. Okay, so we can't control them, I guess, from what I gather. These summons will just do whatever they choose to. But this one can heal, so that's good. And then we have a much more offensive one. Summon Baltan, the Herald of Resnet. Yeah, Resnet, I believe, is the fiery god, not the earth guy, no. Okay, 40 seconds, PP costs 6, a lot more HP, I see. And just a pure attacker. BD 16 as opposed to 18, though. So maybe that's not base damage, I don't know. Not sure what else it could be. Evasion 14, speed 11, initiative 14, skills bite. Bite 2. Light heal 1. Maybe that means I can cast light heal once before vanishing. And this guy can bite twice. In addition to, I suppose, just some generic basic attack. Okay, interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. Well, with that, I suppose we looked at everything, right? Well, messages. No recent messages. Okay. Actually, oh yeah. No, that makes sense. Last time I was looking at messages after I stopped recording, and it still had you know, Gowlin unequipped X, equipped X, unequipped X, because I was messing around in the inventory. But obviously that was before I restarted the game. So, or you know, started a completely new game. So obviously I haven't actually performed any actions yet, but I'm guessing that this would probably retain messages from previous sessions. And then finally we have the game menu, of course. Okay. I think with that, we're good. Okay, so you just hold the right button and hover over anything, and it's going to give you a tooltip of that, including okay. This is where it tells you that movement on this terrain is modified to 60% of normal speed. Okay, but it doesn't say that you... Well, okay, I guess you move slower, so you take more time to travel, which means that you do use more food. I see. So maybe that's just how the terrain affecting food consumption works. Torches, resting, the map. Yeah, okay, so yeah, including... You see tooltips for everything while holding the right mouse button, including inventory, including the UI. My God. Okay, focus. Usables, torches you can use like this. Yeah, so I have no idea how to use his enemy avoidance, his camouflage. I cannot right-click on him like that. PP cost 2. Oh, maybe it's whenever you encounter an enemy party, you have a choice to apply camouflage and flee the encounter, basically, or you know, have a guaranteed escape. Okay, you know what? Why don't we just go ahead and actually start playing the game now? Interacting with objects. Use your mouse pointer to carefully examine the objects you see in the surrounding environment. If an object lights up, you can interact with it. Yes. Okay. There's something inside, which is kind of gross. Inside the corpse? Thankfully, it looks pretty much bone dry. Okay, 50 gold. Well, it's a lot. In fact, why did we start with so little gold? Kind of poorly prepared for a lengthy expedition. Plant collection. Gowlin the Explorer has the ability Knowledge of Herbs, which allows him to gather plants, herbs and mushrooms. Well, plants and herbs is kind of redundant, but sure. The more you improve this ability, the more you will be able to harvest from each plant you find. When you have enough samples, you will be able to use them to improve an attribute or resistance. Okay, just straight up. Okay, also we see that new notes are getting added. And you just click and... Oh, you have to be close enough, I suppose. You're not automatically going to run up to things to interact with. What is that? Well, plant with fruits. Increase food reserves. Okay. And you're telling me about this right now. Pay attention to how much food reserves you have. As you travel, rest, and perform actions, you will consume your food reserves. Without food, you cannot rest. Oh. Okay. So that's all that means. Presumably. But we're not going to starve to death or have an instant game over or something. Once we run out of food. That's good. When you rest, you regain your hit points and power points, and you can cure any wounds you have received. Except for serious wounds? No, serious wounds just require a full day of uninterrupted rest. When traveling in some terrains like deserts or snow, you will use more food than normal. Try to stay on the roads and paths whenever possible. I mean, sure, in theory, but in practice, we're going to be doing a lot of off-road exploration, probably. Because that's where all the interesting stuff is. Try to stay on the roads, right? You can get food by buying it from vendors in villages, finding it in sacks or barrels, or by finding it in nature. Right. Okay. And you can absolutely have more than one day worth. That's extremely comforting to know. But yeah, time passes quickly. A minute per step? We're pretty slow, aren't we? Yeah, I don't know about those fractions. Maybe when it says 1 to 1.17 units of herb collected. I think we've only it only showed whole numbers so far, right? Whenever we collected anything. I wonder if the game internally keeps track of those fractions and just doesn't show them, or if we actually have to increase our skill to the point where, you know, it's where the number is high enough to jump to the next integer, basically. Ustilaga. And also shows what the effect of the herb is going to be. But I mean, these don't contribute any carried weight or anything, so and that was just almost a full, well, like maybe a third or a bit more than a quarter of a day's worth of food just from that one plant. So yeah, pretty generous there. That's not a herb we can collect, apparently. Village of Velagarn. Okay, you can either just read it like this, or properly, I suppose. New journal event, the Divine Temples. Beyond the forest stood a human village. Could there really be humans living in Xulima? Well, yeah, the map showed several cities, presumably inhabited by humans. Apparently so, in fact. Could there really be humans living in Xulima? The legends told us that in the past men and gods walked together over these lands. I wonder if they know something about Rodinia and the kingdoms of the west. We're watching you. Soldier of Nengorth, difficulty Titanic. 4 of them. I mean, I'm not planning to fight them, but I guess technically I could. Maybe this is a good time to find out... This is it for options. So there is no... Well, we can't save quick game, but I'm assuming there must be a quick save button as well. There's just no key bindings menu, as far as I'm aware. So, do I just try? Okay, F5 is quick save. which means that F9 is quick load. No. F6, 7, 8, 8. Okay. Gotcha. F5 to quick save, F8 to quick load. What are the... Okay, F1 to F through F4 don't seem to be doing anything right now. I was wondering if that would interact with these. Do you have to click them? Maybe. There was something else. Well, yeah, okay, I was thinking about looking at the map, because that's a thing that I said I was going to do, and I meant to do, and then I kind of forgot. But, I mean, yeah, basically, we're going to have plenty of reasons in the future to look at this. But, yeah, for now, we're basically here, or, I guess, there. Just to the west of Velagarn. And from there, apparently, we got a road going north towards the arena, which is intriguing, past a Sporia meadow with one gigantic mushroom. Well, there's also Sporia forest. This one doesn't look mushroomy on the map, but the name certainly implies mushrooms, so we'll see. We got the Golden Woods, the Great Lake of Fire, which I hope we don't have a reason to visit anytime soon. The Living Forest of Odendros. The Green Woods, much more pleasant sounding. And we got a castle up here. The Forest of the Ulrogs. High plateau of Karaga. The area, the region of Karaga. There we have one of the temples. And in fact, there are temples for all 9 of the lords. And yeah, obviously we're supposed to visit those and defeat whatever evils have made those their homes. Temple of Taliot, Temple of Alnayet, Temple of Golot himself, our employer. Another castle, another village. Seems like most regions have their local village or city, which I'm expecting to, you know, work as a hub. Obviously, we do need temples for our healing and maybe resurrection needs, so it would be convenient to have those, and shops, of course, and you know, things like that. Plus, of course, quest givers, the most important kind of NPC. Great Frozen Lake. Not showing any details up there, but I'm sure there are plenty of things to find and explore. Right. Here we have the Temple of Thebret. Did I miss any up here? I don't think so. Oh, there's the Temple of Velvet. Temple of Velvet. Right, yeah. But also from Velagarn we have the road going east to the Temple of Thebret, to the region of Nabros, with another castle. Lots of castles, lots of little feudal kingdoms here, I guess. The Great Varnalo River. Great, but not particularly long, to be honest. Oh no, wait, never mind. I guess it might be connected to the Muddy Lake, but yeah, it does actually have its spring up here, so it's a little bit longer. Fair enough. Maybe it is kind of great. We got the Temple of Nalayet, the sea goddess. Makes sense for it to be in the water, basically, in the river delta. Looking forward to exploring that. That seems like a pretty cool place, potentially. Here we have an entrance to this deserty region of Variskel and Pernitia. Who knows? The Red Pass seemingly guarded by... Right, we can also zoom in a lot more. Sorry for not doing that earlier, I guess. Yeah, we got this imposing-looking figure guarding the pass. We'll have to deal with them at some point. Then we have an oasis here. We got the sandworm. Hopefully not actually depicted, you know, in its real size here. Temple of Kersket, the Earth God. Tower of Time, Hall of Heroes. And then we got the Desolation Desert, which shows absolutely no detail except for this skull and this gigantic bird. So we'll see what that looks like once we get there. Got the world's biggest bee right there. Or wasp. I guess it's more wasp-like now that I look at it. Yeah. Either way, would not want to encounter an insect of that size, no matter what it is, really. Emerald Lake, Temple of Rosnet, Ancient Ruins, as opposed to all the other ruins which are... No, there are more ancient ruins, never mind. It's not the only ancient ruin. Darthanos Castle, Tower of Rage. There's the Temple of Velvet. That might be all of them? Yeah, because we have this series of islands here, but no temples on any of those. Nifonte's Lair. It looks... Actually, this might not be an island, but actually floating on a cloud above, now that I look at it. Yeah. Right, and interestingly, yeah, it's clearly not an island, because these are all called Velionil, Aikwendil, Kurokil. I guess the Eel Island, the Eel ending is, for island, which makes sense if you apply the rules of our world and its, well, specifically Romance languages, I guess. Eel. Although this game was not made by French developers, but Spanish, I believe. But yeah. Anyway, that's the map. It's a nice looking map. So I wanted to look at it. You know what? Yeah, let's talk to him. Halt. Okay. I halted. What is it? No stranger enters the village of Velagarn without paying the toll. Oh. Toll to enter a village? I come from far away, soldier. Is this how you receive visitors from other lands? Well, yes, that's exactly what we do. It's the law. This village is under the protection of Prince Nengorth. He makes the rules. Pay the 100 gold and you are free to come and go from the village as you wish for a period of time. What period of time? A day? A week? A month? A year? But watch yourself, stranger. Make trouble and you'll be taken to the temple. Uh-oh, not the temple. You must pay the toll by order of Prince Nengorth. How much is the toll? He literally just told us and we don't have enough gold, of course. I'll pay nothing. I'm going in and if you're smart, you'll stay out of my way. Intimidation check. I doubt there is such a thing. Very well, here's your money. Then I won't enter. Goodbye. I mean, 70 gold is all we have. Can't you give us a discount because we're new here? It's 100 gold. Come back when you have enough. Well, goodbye then. Stay away, stranger.
Get out of here.
What a warm welcome. Thankfully, there is a way to go for us. Collect all of that. Oh god, we're gonna be doing a lot of herb collection. Like a lot. Of course I'm also gonna be missing a lot probably, although maybe I'll eventually just recognize the various types basically in my sleep. Ah, enemies. Enemies that you see on the map are immobile and won't attack until you enter their area of influence. Mouse over the enemy to see how close you can get before they attack. Though the enemies are represented on the map by a solitary creature, they are normally found in groups. Use the right mouse button to see how many enemies are present in the group. Yes, we've seen that with the soldiers before. Okay, and that's the area they're guarding. So basically they're just blocking that entire passage, which makes sense. Difficulty balanced. Alright, 3 goblins. Yeah, it sounds like something we should be able to handle, probably. Even if we're completely unarmored for now. Hidden treasure. Oh, 12 uncovers a small leather bag from under a rock. The bag contains 55 gold coins. Huh. Was that specifically in this place? Or is that just a thing that will randomly happen? Does the perception skill just make you sometimes find stuff? I mean, at this point, you know what? We could skip the tutorial completely. Because we now suddenly have enough money for the toll. That's interesting, but I'm not going to do that. Obviously, I want to experience combat. We should have enough time for that. Behold combat. Thanks for... Oh, I guess a tutorial... it was just a loading screen tip that also happened to be about combat. Right, okay. I was gonna say, wait, why do you make that go away so quickly? Alright, combat. Here's the proper tutorial. Combat functions through a turn-based system. The order of turns is shown in the column on the right-hand side. Okay, so there is a yeah, timeline system like that, basically. And it's based on the speed and conditions of the combatants. Combatants will lose turns if they are stunned, paralyzed, etc. When it's one of your character's turns, you will see the actions available to them on screen. When you select your action, you may also need to select a target for that action. I'm assuming that's going to be the case for most actions. Only polearms and projectile weapons can be used from the back line. By the same rule, combatants on the back line are protected from most attacks by those on the front line. Right. Use the button Combat Grid on the map screen in order to see the combat positions of your group. Okay. Wait, but isn't that already shown down here? The button Combat Grid on the map screen. During combat, you can also change the position of your party members when it's their turn, or you can pull them out of combat to try to flee. Pull them out of wait. Where are the options? Equipment. Attack. Okay, so 12 starts. Yes, I see. Harry, defend from enemy attacks until your next turn. So, okay, yeah, defend, basically. Move character, change position. Use an item. Change an equipped weapon, armor, or accessory. Okay. And I'm guessing this is where skills go? Such a skill or item, okay. Right, each character is gonna have their own quick bar, normal combat speed. I guess that's just for animations, because it is obviously turn-based, so... How do you pull a character out of combat? Like... Okay. Do I just click on her like that? I don't want to accidentally make her flee. Well, right now I don't have a reason to do that. I guess we'll maybe try to figure that out if we actually want to run away. Although, it would be good to know that beforehand, I suppose. Okay, 70% chance to hit, 4 to 5 HP. Is that how much we're gonna deal, or how much they have? Oh, they have 24. Okay. No active effects. Ascari warrior. I'm sorry, not goblins. Ascari. Well, let's just shoot this guy. Why not? 4 HP lost. Okay. You... Wait. Press here and then select a skill or item in the menu. Like here. Save the action as favorite in the slot. Do I drag and drop? No. In the menu. What menu? Huh? Sparks? Oh, I'm dumb. This is just the magic school, and then you actually click on you select the skill from the list. I see. Right, okay. That makes sense. Weapons, wait. Okay, so these are, you actually get options when clicking on these. Well, you choose attack or, no, I didn't mean for it to defend. Okay, so some of these things give you sub options or just select a thing, but some just immediately perform the action selected. Fair enough, I guess. Okay, well, you don't have any skills, do you? This is just equipment. Yeah, no. We know that he doesn't have any active skills, so it's just gonna attack that guy for max damage. He's also bleeding. I like. We get hit relatively hard in return. You know what? This is obviously a tutorial combat, so not at all necessary whatsoever. But we're going to summon this guy here. Oh, and we choose where it goes. Interesting. Okay. We're gonna put that guy in the front row. Now you... Well, we don't need to heal yet, obviously, so we're just gonna stun that guy. Honestly, okay. I see. So I could have technically stunned enemy B? Wait, which one is B? Is enemy A? That's enemy C. So this one's B, but wait. Oh, he can't reach... So Galen being over here cannot reach that enemy? Is that right? No way. Really? Also, why is this one A, this one B, this one C? Why is it not A, B, C? Okay, yeah, but technically if he could reach, or, well, she could have reached, I suppose, from there, presumably. She could have attacked Goblin B, or Ascari Warrior B, I'm sorry, to knock him back in the timeline. But then, you know, we do want to focus on just killing this guy, obviously. Taking an enemy completely out of the picture is usually going to be the most useful. Okay. Ah, okay, baton attacked. Nice. Okay, Oron, you can attack this guy. Okay, let's actually have you, let's see here. 1? Cast a spell. Nice, okay. 11 hit points. And that guy might be pretty close to death, actually. Oh yeah, he's gonna die. What's a 59%, actually? Oh, that's gotta be our hit chance. Yeah, of course. Okay, well, you should be able to attack from the back row, right? Like so. And stun him for a little bit. Nice. Yeah, this guy... I guess we'll see when the bleeding damage happens. I wasn't really paying attention to that before. He's also stunned. Shoot you. Oh, you did get your turn. But you attacked Baton. And then... Okay, so he bled to death after his action. Okay. Unfortunate, but I suppose it's... If that's how it works, you know, that's how it works. Plus, it's gonna be good for us if any of our characters is ever, you know, about to die. Why does he have that skull icon there? Or it, I guess. Yeah, it doesn't show any status here. Does that just mean that they're basically on a timer? Oh, they're summoned. Okay, you can mouse over. You have to be relatively precise. Plus, you know, the cursor changing to something that's not just an arrow, it makes it a bit less obvious, but where you have to hover. This creature has been summoned. Right. 29 seconds remaining. I do find it odd that the game uses this uses seconds as a measure of time in combat when, you know... Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many seconds a normal action, a basic action basically takes, but I suppose we can just use those as relative measurements. You know, we know that we stun for 4 seconds when we hit with a stunning, when we trigger the stunning effect of our blunt weapons, which is 10 times the overall duration of our summons, for example. Anyway, let's just finish this guy off, shall we? Critical fail. Wait, what? A critical attack fail. He hurt himself for 2, but he also still applied the damage to the enemy, right? Or was he bleeding? No, I don't think... Can we see? Oh, right, I chose not to have the combat log active. So I guess for the next combat I'm going to turn that on to see what that looks like, where that's going to be. Huh. Okay. We gained 36 XP and 42 gold. Not too shabby, maybe? Actually, I have no idea how much experience that is. Not a whole lot, it turns out. Level 1. Current XP 106. Okay, so we got some experience for... We got 70... We had 70 experience before this fight. No, wait. He has a 4% bonus, further complicating things. How about her, then? No, she also has 106. Wait. Current XP 106, next level at 200. At 200 or 200 more? I'm guessing... Yeah, okay, it actually literally shows you required 94. So why is the progress bar... Why does the progress bar to the next level seem almost empty when it should be... Oh, wait. So the whole party got 36, right? Divided by 6, that's 6 experience for everyone, and the 4% bonus is not enough to increase that by anything, obviously. Okay, so that's not per character, that's party-based experience. And we all just started at level 1, which corresponds to 100 current XP. I see, okay, so we made 6 experience progress towards 200. Alright, okay, so things are slowly starting to make sense. Also, this combat, well, I mean, since I did take my time with the actions, obviously future combats are gonna be over much quicker, especially against easy enemies like that. But, yeah, that did take a little moment, and now we're over an hour, but, you know, it's fine. Not trapped, thankfully. Poor cloth boots. Oh. 1 weight, 1 armor. Yep. Okay, so it basically shows you the icons and the text, giving you pretty much the same kind of information. In fact, it shows up top the icon for 1 weight penalty. It says weight penalty 1 in the text, and then there's also a weight icon in the bottom right, telling you that it weighs 1. Oh no, never mind. Okay, it's not always the same. So I see. Okay, so you have separate weight in the inventory and weight penalty as far as, you know, how much armor weight a character can wear. Why would that be? I don't know. I guess I'm just glad that it only takes up 2 units of weight when you're carrying it around in your shared inventory, and not the whole 4. Alright, anyway. Yeah, we're gonna take these and give these to, I guess, whichever of our fighters has the lowest hit points, which I guess is Galvin, actually. Or maybe we give him the cloth suit and her the boots. Yeah. And our barbarian friend is, well, actually he took the most beating, but yeah, he's still at 20 hit points. You know, he's doing okay. I guess I could actually go ahead and use that Aura of Healing. Heal everyone for 4. Sure, why not? Right, also before I forget, options, combat message log. Yeah, that might help clear up some confusion, like, you know, what exactly happened with Gowlin's final attack there. Did he actually still deal damage despite the critical failure, or was it some other source of damage that ended up killing that Ascari? Not Goblin? Let's just go with Goblin, shall we? Anyway, yeah, next time I guess we're gonna pay that toll. It doesn't seem like there's really any way around it. I really don't think fighting these guys is an option. Although I'm almost tempted to try and get taken to the temple. Maybe that is an option. Maybe you could actually, but then wouldn't they take away all of your stuff? Probably. At the very least, all the gold you're carrying. It's intriguing, but let's not cause trouble quite this early, right? I mean, this might not be the warmest welcome. Might not have been the warmest welcome, but then again, you know, we are strangers. They don't know if they can trust us, and maybe first impressions can be redeemed, or can be, well, no, the first impressions are going to be first impressions, but maybe other people in town are going to be friendlier, is what I'm trying to say. We'll find out next time. For the time being, I thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and I shall see you real soon. Bye-bye.